Good morning, welcome to RAAONLINE. Today's class is Nervous System in General Anatomy. The competency related to this topic are, at the end of this class, the first MBBS students should be able to describe the general plan of the nervous system with components of central, peripheral and autonomic nervous system. 7.2 list the components of nervous tissue and their functions, and in 7.3 describes the parts of a neuron and classify them based on a number of neurites, size and function, and in 7.4 it describes the structure of a typical spinal nerve. In 7.5 describes the principles of sensory and motor innervation of the muscles. 7.6 describe the concept of laws of innervation of the muscle with its applied anatomy, and in 7.5 describe the various types of synapses. 7.8 we discuss about the differences between the sympathetic and spinal ganglia. Now let's go to the class. So what is the function of nervous system? It is the reception and integration of sensory information from within and outside the body. The production of the motor responses which are appropriate to the sum of sensory information. So that is the main function of the nervous system, and the main property of the nervous tissue is excitability and conductivity. Let's see later. So what is the subdivisions of nervous system? So the nervous system can be broadly classified into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So this is nervous system is classified into central and peripheral, and the central nervous system is further subdivided into brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system is classified into the cell bodies are called ganglia and the axons or the nerve fibers, peripheral nerve fibers. So this ganglia is again subdivided into sensory ganglia and the autonomic ganglia. There is another system, that is autonomic nervous system, which is classified into sympathetic and parasympathetic. So now let's go to the components of nervous tissue. So what are the structures present in the nervous tissue? The main structure is neurons, and associative supportive structure is the neuroglia. Now let's see about the neurons. The neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Human nervous system contains more than 10 billion neurons. The most important property of neuron is excitability and conductivity, but when compared to the muscular tissue, the important property of the muscular tissue is contractility. So the neurons can be grouped based on the functions as sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons. This is one type of classification of neurons. So the sensory neurons are those which carry the information towards the nervous system is the sensory neurons. Motor neurons, it carries the information away from the nervous system, whereas the interneurons, it communicate the information from sensory to motor neurons. There are more than 99% of the neurons are interneurons. The other terminology for interneuron is intercalated neurons. So let's go to the structure of neuron. So neuron, this is a neuron which contains a cell body, otherwise called soma. Soma means body, and this cell body, collection of cell body within the central nervous system. When it lies within the central nervous system, collection of cell body, it is called nuclei, and there is a collection of cell body outside the central nervous system, that is in the peripheral nervous system, it is called ganglia. Now coming to nerve process, that is the projections or the processes from the cell body. This is a long process, single process descending downwards. It is called axon. Whereas there are multiple processes projecting from the soma or the cell body, they are called dendrites. So let's see the cell body or soma. It is also called as perikaryon. So this cell body consists of nucleus similar to other cells with prominent nucleoli and perinuclear membrane. The cytoplasm around the nucleus contains numerous mitochondria. So these are the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, and rough endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. The nucleus is euchromatic, that is lightly stained because it is actively multiplying cell in the body with one or two nucleoli, and the cytoplasm shows the presence of nissel body, which is the peculiar feature of cytoplasm of the neurons. So this nissel bodies or substance or granules are nothing but stacks of rough endoplasmic reticulum in the cytoplasm. So this shows a granular basophilic cytoplasmic material, that is, this is the nucleus. Around the nucleus in the cytoplasm, you can see a darkly stained structure, that is the nissel granules. The neuron also contains many neurofibrils. They are nothing but microtubules and microfilaments, and the centriole, which is helpful in the production of neurofibrils. Some of the neurons also contain melanin pigment, so that is present in the substantia nigra of the midbrain, and lipofuscin pigments.